Hello ladies and gents, today's going to be a bit of a different video. I'll be going through my whole setup from scratch, so I don't have anything created anywhere else. Also be new accounts, everything except for make.com, and the goal is to do a Vapi booking assistant using cal.com from zero to hero in I'm not sure how long it's going to take. Prompt engineering, make.com scenarios, documents, everything. And why am I doing this? One is because I received an email yesterday with this message. So as of today, I'm just reading it at the bottom here, you can allow people to book you just using their phone number. If you're on a team or organization plan, you can combine it with SMS booking notifications. And then to enable this, go to your event type, add phone number as one of your booking questions in advanced settings, and make it required and remove the email field. So our biggest pain point before with cal.com was that you had to grab the person's email to then book it into the slot. However, now you don't need to do that, apparently. So we'll see. So what you'll need for this whole setup, I've just logged into my cal.com account using my trash Gmail account. I'm literally about to start that up. You'll need this cal.com documentation. Everything will be in the description below. You'll need a Google account with a Google Calendar already set up and set up in such a way so that you know what time zone this is in. So I'm actually going to change that now. So it's in GMT +2. GMT, so pretty much in Zulu time right now. So let's change it to where I am. So I'm in Warsaw. Where is that? Okay. Okay, so that's our set. Great. So that's there, that's done. Then you'll need an Airtable account. You'll need this here. It's actually in the description below. So what you'll do is you'll just copy the link that I'll give you there, and then you can then duplicate the base, I believe, by clicking on the triple dots of the duplicate base. You also have this right in here. You'll need a Vapi account. We're going to use Postman, and you'll need make.com as well. So this isn't a brand new make.com account, but it will be the scenario that I'll be creating will be completely from scratch. And I think that is all we're going to need today. And maybe like a note-taking thing for yourself. So I like to use Notion. If you keep that, then yeah, follow along, and yeah, we'll go from zero to hero. So I think what we'll do is we'll start off with the make.com scenario. So when you first make a new account, you'll see this kind of screen. You'll see this be 1,000 instead of 10,000. So I pay like $10 a month, I think it is. If you could upgrade, should tell you how much. Yeah, so my call plan, I pay $11 a month. I should probably change that to yearly. I use this a lot. You could also use my affiliate link. It's in the description below. Would love to get some help that way. Don't have to, obviously. But yeah, so I think we're going to start off from this, and then we'll need to actually get into the documentation from cal.com, because that will depend on what kind of setup we're going to do. So we'll need the Vapi cal.com documentation, and we'll probably set up our cal.com account. Click new scenario, and let's just start making stuff. So one of the basic things I like doing is starting off with a basic trigger. So if you just type in basic, So if you just left click on this, if you've never been in here, you type in basic and then left click on this, you'll get a new module come in. So I call these modules. You'll see this thing on the right hand side here. You can add an item, and just so this doesn't throw an error, so it's either like one, the red one, that actually means it's going to throw an error. I'm just going to type whatever in here for now, doesn't matter what. You can zoom in and out using like your mouse scroll wheel, like so. If you're using a mouse pad, I think you can just like use the trackpad for that as well. So what's happening on the UI here? We've got the things that we go on to use the most. That's the thing as I will point you to. This thing here, you can left click on this like clock looking thing. You can drag it off this module. This is important for later on. It's cool how it bounces actually. On the left bottom, so behind like my, let's see if I can actually drag this. Yes, I don't think I can drag it, but behind my face, there's a run once button, and behind this, you can click on it and it will run the scenario once. So how do you know if it ran? Well, it comes out with an operation one, and then an output of that operation. So in this case, our variable was called A, and the input we had for it was A. So it came out as A. And then also behind my face, there's a run scheduling button. For like testing and stuff, I usually don't click it on, so I just leave it off most of the time. And then the other button that's the most useful here is probably the save button. So save, and you can also find new modules and things like that by going into here. So next to your module on the right hand side of it, you can like hover over and it comes up with a little plus, and then also says add another module. So you left click on that and you get like a new module area come up along the side with the menu, and you get all this cool stuff happening here. Cool. So that's like one way to bring everything out. What's another way? You can right click. You can also right click anywhere on like on the empty, say, I'm going to call it the designer. So on the empty designer, you can right click and then add a module. And then that also will work. So right click, add module. I'm just going to choose something just for the sake of it. Okay, basic trigger won't work. So let's choose probably the ones that I use the most, set multiple variables, connect automatically. I'll call it A and A as well. And you can left click and then drag and like move it around however you like. So you can get pretty artistic with these things. So in between these two modules, we have a thing called a filter. And you know this because it has a little icon there that looks like a spanner. You can left click on the spanner, set up filter, and you'll get this menu come up. This is super helpful for later. So these are filters. And then in here, you can have special conditions happen. So if this variable, you can left click on it, or you can drag and drop it here as well. I prefer left clicking on it because it just happens automatically and instantly instead of dragging and drop, which takes a little while and coordination. So I just go A, and if this variable is equal to A, then it should then go through the whole thing. So let's click run once behind my face, and now the whole thing ran. But then if we change the filter to not equal to A, then this then shouldn't work. So then it stops because that wasn't equal to A. That's some really basic ideas here of how to like move around, add a module and things like that, because that's what you'll be doing in a sec. Our basic idea is that I want to create a flow that will check the availabilities for a person, and then for a person's calendar, give us those availabilities. Once those are ready, it will then go into another tool or function, which will then book us that slot that the person picked. So yeah, that's the basic idea that we're going to go with. So I think what we could do is potentially go into cal.com and just have a look at some of the documentation. So I'm just going to give you this like link here. You can jump straight to it. So I'm in the bookings part and we'll go to create new booking. So to create a new booking in make.com using an API, which is this, we call this an API endpoint. What you need for it is this URL, and we need the API key from our account. Cool. And it looks like we'll need a few other things. Like if we need the event type ID, and we need this one because it has a red asterisk. So we need this one, we need the start. Doesn't tell us what kind of format it's in, but I think we can maybe see an example. Okay, so it has an example in this format. This is 860 ISO format, by the way, and the Z stands for Zulu, which means UTC or universally transmitted. Universally something central time. Maybe that's it. Universal central time. Yeah. So that'd be that, and then the responses. So that we also need this one. We need the metadata, time zone, and the language. Okay, so we need all these. And then the second thing we'll grab is I'm actually upgrading this from my other video. So if you see my cal.com video from like, I think I made it 5 months ago or more now. Almost 6. So I've upgraded a little bit with my skills. So we'll see how this build goes. But I remember going through the pain of this, and then I remember that the slots was much easier to work with. So let's have a click into it. And I think they actually changed the look of this documentation. It looks much cleaner. This wasn't here before. Like I had to figure out all this by myself 5-6 months ago. This looks good because it actually gives you the slots, like the start time of each available slot. So we don't have to mess around with anything special going on here. That's actually really nice. So we use that one. So we use this one, and then the bookings, and then create a new booking. That's the two things we'll use. Okay, so cool. So let's go into make.com, and then what we'll do is we'll create a HTTP module. So we'll create our first one. We can probably delete this. And if we type in HTTP and then go on the top, and we can choose a few here. We can choose to make a request, or we can do make a basic auth request. And this actually gives you a little like a keychain where you can store your data a bit more securely, or we might actually do both. So I'll show you both, or you can make a request. And I'll just leave them empty for now. So I can't fill any of this out too much yet because we need one very important aspect of this, and we actually need to set up cal.com first. So let's leave that here, and we'll come back to it in a little bit. So I've just logged into cal.com, and then let's call it YouTube test. And my full name is generic YouTube. Time zone being Europe Warsaw. That sounds really good. I think I needed to save that. Cool. Next step. Oh, and it actually lets me connect up my calendar. Great. So let's go just in case it comes up with like all my emails and all my other emails, I'm gonna actually move this onto my other screen. I'm not sure how that's gonna look like. Yeah, it just came up with all my emails. Essentially now I'm just clicking on my, like the Nightwolf email, and then I am just allowing everything in that and pressing continue. Cool, I'll bring that back. And any birthdays? No. Cool, continue. Connect your video apps. Yes, please. Google Meet, that same thing might happen again, so let's just double check. Nope, that's fine. It literally just came up with installed. So that's really good. And this is nice to give into Discord and 365. A lot of my clients actually use 365 and Google Meets. And I'm an entrepreneur, so I work all the time pretty much. So I'm just gonna have these times set exactly how it is right here. So let's go 9 AM to 5 PM. Honestly, if I was gonna set it up for meetings as an entrepreneur, I'd probably set this to be like 1 PM. And then this to be like around 10 PM. So I'll do all my meetings after, I'll do all my heavy brain work kind of stuff, and maybe after my run. But let's just pretend we're a business and we're working 8 to 5 or 9 to 5. Good old 9 to 5, huh? Never going back to that shit ever again. Yeah, once you get a feel of the kind of thing that we do as an agency owner, just can't go back. I like apples. Right, so it looks like we've got some meetings already created for us. Cool, and we might actually use them later on. So go 1, 2, 3. What else do we need to set up? Let's go into the 30 meeting one. I think that's going to be our main one. We'll call this discovery call. Duration 30 minutes. Location Google Meet, sounds good. Availability, that looks good. Limits, no buffer time. I'm actually going to leave it with no notice just for now. And then just for the sake of keeping this as like as simple as possible. And then advanced. And then here, let's go edit. And then click on title. And I just use the curly brackets, type this in. Create. Save. And then here, what we need to do, so I think it said on, I got to bring that up again, but from memory, what it said is we need to add in a phone. Okay, here we have a phone thing. Let's call it phone. Phone. Press add. Is that it? I'm going to edit that so it comes up bigger. Phone. I'm going to change that. I think that looks better. Okay. Can I drag that? And then it said I can then delete the email. It's not letting me though. Just click on disable then. I can't click on no. Okay, just out of curiosity, how does it work then? So click save, preview. So if I go to book, it's pretty cool. I only get the phone number in there. Nice. So someone doesn't have to type in the email all the time, which is really cool. let's go back. Actually looks really nice, that setup. Event type color. Oh, nice. I like this teal green. Let's set that up. Sort of like the Vapi color. Theme colors and plus contrast check. If I go like this. The fuck? Okay, we'll just do that. Recurring, not sure what this is. Recurring events, I'm going to ignore that. Could probably install a bunch of other apps. Close.com, a good, cool CRM. HubSpot, another cool CRM. PayPal, that's another cool thing you could probably set up along with Stripe. And then I think we'll leave that here now. All right. So one thing to take note of is this thing here at the top of your URL. That's your event type ID. So just after the / and before the question mark, I'm going to copy that. I'm going to put that somewhere. I'm going to put that on my second screen. Put that on my second screen. And now we're also going to grab our API key. So if you go to settings, and then somewhere in here, we should have our API key. There we go. So add YouTube test, never expires. Okay, that's good. So never expires, but the drop downs are grayed out. Good. Now I'm going to copy that, I'll put it again on my notepad. Close that. And now we can create the rest of the things from the documentation. Okay. So let's go to make.com. Now that we got all this info, and I might just focus on the node that doesn't have the API key so I can show you the difference. So in the URL, we need the, let's do the checking availabilities first. I think that'll be the reasonable step to take here. I'm going to copy this. So I literally just highlighted that, Control C, and paste it right in here. And it says we need get. So I'm going to have this as get. And the headers, does it say we need anything specifically? Doesn't say so, but because the responses comes back as a JSON, I'm just going to assume that the headers will be content type application /JSON. And then what do we need for the parameters? We need the API key. And I'm just going to copy my API key from, I'm just going to close that. I'm just going to close that, use the API key from what I just generated just a second ago. Press OK just to save it. Now you need to click on OK. Don't just click off it, otherwise you lose all that progress we made. So press OK and then just save here, just in case. Okay, great. Now we also need the start time. I'll copy that and copy the end time. So let's type in, oops. Windows V is very nice because now you can just grab everything that we copied before. End time, and then the start time, not sure what format we need still. I will also grab the event type ID, which is the calendar that we chose to set this up with, or the event that we chose to set it up with. In my case, my ID was the 116. And what else do we need? I think that might be it. And we'll click on pass response. Press OK. Now, usually this comes up in 24 ISO format, so I'm just going to try that. So today's the 9th month, the 16th, so I'm just going to go for the 17th T, like something like this. And then I'm just going to copy that over and go to 18. And then press OK. Just going to get rid of this module for now. Just because I want to test this, whether this actually works or not. So I'll click OK and see if I actually typed it in right. Okay, so we got a status code 200, which is very cool. That worked. So it got us from 10 a.m. Let's just see what actual slots I had available for my booking. This doesn't seem right. Availability from 9 a.m. I have a feeling that because my time zone is +2, what it's doing is it added. So I had 8 here before, and my time zone is +02. So what I think what I did automatically is it added in the +2, and that's why the result was from 10 a.m. So if we change this to 7, that should then start off from 9 a.m., which is where we wanted to start from. Press OK, and let's check that again. I'm just clicking run once behind my face when you see all these things running, by the way. So data. Cool, starts from now 9 a.m. and then what time does it finish? 4:30. I want it to go until 5 p.m. I think. Great. No, that's fine. Actually, I wonder if I change this to actual 5 p.m. whether it'll actually work. So whether the final available slot, these are available slots, will actually be, yeah, that still works. Awesome. Just the beginning one was a bit iffy. Okay, then I'll show you this other setup. Just as a little bonus. So what we'll do in the choose key is we click add. I think I chose the wrong one. Hold on. Which one was it? Basic key auth. I think it was API key or auth request. Let's click that. There we go. That looks better. That's it. So I'm going to call this cal.com setup for night. My key is my cal.com API key. And then this parameter key is the API key that we need our cal.com header. So they had it as this API with a capital K, EY. Click on create, press OK. And then we can just copy over the URL stuff from this. And I'm actually going to, I think from now on, I'm going to use this one. And so we don't need to copy this anymore, but we'll copy this. No. Just add it in. So nothing too crazy going on here. I'm just copy pasting. And let's see if that also works. Click save and then run that. And API key provided. Oh, that's silly. Do you know why that didn't work? because this is in the query. So this is actually what comes up in the, like at the top here. So this is all this stuff. So like, if I wanted to get to this part of the page, I need to have typed in another parameter, which gets me to this like part of the page. So the original is cal.com/docs, let's say, and then we want to get to enterprise features, then API reference. So this is like all these things. But in our case, this is a query or like a parameter, and when you use this setup here, it actually goes into the header. So we need to go back in here and change this into query string. All right, so let's try it again. cal.com setup. I'm gonna call this a query. Nice. And then go API key. Go create. Press OK. Hopefully that works. No idea. I'm just not going to bother with it. So I usually use those for like my Vapi modules, or where I'm setting up Go High Level for my clients. So I usually set that up in the headers. I'm not going to waste too much more time for that, since this is the one that actually works. But the other one's a really good method for making sure that you get you hide all your keys and stuff from anyone who will like anyone else who will log in and try to steal your API keys. Okay, so we're still getting those out. Great. And just to double check, let's actually go into my calendar and let's book in. So that's the 16th. Let's change my view this week. So I think I'm checking for the 17th, right? Checking for the 17th. Yeah. Cool. So let's block out on the 17th from 1:30 to 4:30. And then make that busy. And then call this test. And now that would mean that we should get way less slots come back. That's one. Yeah, way less slots. So we got 9 a.m. We got 11 a.m. to 12, 12:30, 1, and then our last one is 4:30. That's right. Cool. Okay, so that's the VAT. So once we get this working, which is like our first basic step, this is our base setup, right? From here, we build on top of it. So what I'm thinking next is we need to then go through all these slots. All right, so we need to go through all these slots, and then we need to send them back into Vapi somehow. Okay, so at the moment, I'm seeing a couple things. The result that we're getting has a collection within a collection, and then that collection is an array. Essentially, an array is a big list, and we want to go through this whole list and then get all these times back into Vapi somehow, preferably formatted, so like all this 17th of September stuff doesn't get read out accidentally by the agent. So we want to be as concise as possible as well. And the thing that changes as well, see that's 0917, that would also change when we change this. So if we change this to, let's say, the 18th, you just watch for a sec. This would also come back as a different, like say, day or variable, right? So now we get more come back. But another thing that we could do as well is maybe look a few days ahead. So let's go 3 days ahead almost. This should now give back the 18th, 19th, and the 20th. Yeah. So now we get all these. So how do you then how do you get around all this so it'll work? Well, there are a few tools on make.com where you can do these sort of things. So we have an iterator module, which is specifically built for array. See that? Type array. You actually need an array for it to work. So if you put this in, and again, just left click, not instead of dragging, press OK, and then click save. And I'll just show you how that looks like. So we get all these bundles for the 18th of September. But just take note that this is 0918. So now if we go back and then change this, because someone on the Vapi call, like calling up your agent, might actually just choose a completely random date or a different date. So let's pretend someone else calls up and they say they want to book for tomorrow, which in my case is, so the 17th is tomorrow. Now click on run once, click on run one, click on run behind my face here, and then notice that I get an empty array. That's because this is not available anymore. We need to come up with a solution for that. What we could potentially do is set it up as a variable. Set multiple variables, add item. Let's call this an array. There are a few cool things in make.com that I've learned over the past few months, like keys. This lets you access a certain part of an array. So in this particular case, if you type in keys with a bracket, you get, it sort of like becomes grayed out. And then what we can do is come back here and then just left click on the slots. And what that will do, regardless of how many days forward we're looking, so let's say in this case we're looking forward like almost 4 days, the result here should be 4 days. So the 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th, but this will only give us back, this will give us back all of them, right? But we only want one of the days. And I'll show you why, because I'm thinking a bit forward. So just try follow along. This will grab the first element in an array. So this should now output only, if we run this again, should only output this first guy. There you go, just got the one. It's gonna take a little break, I'll get up. Okay, so from here, let's then go into doing stuff into here. So we've got the iterator. We need to then access. So this result will be dynamic, right? So this variable array will completely be different. I'm actually call this day, so that makes more sense. Run that again just to show you. So now it's called day. And then what I might do then is do another module with another set variable. Then I want to access that. And I'm going to call it available slots. So this will unlock, this will then grab whatever slots we have here. And then notice on this make.com module, all this kind of thing only shows the last possible operation that was run. The cat wanted out of the room. All right. So to do that, there are a few operations we can do. One of them is a function. So one of them is called get. And what get does is it looks through an array, which in this case, we've got an array right now, and when you use the semicolon, we can then tell it what to look into. So in this particular case, this slots doesn't change. So we're going to click on that, click the semicolon, and then go into, and then click on our variable here, day, which will then be replaced by whatever this is, right? This will then get whatever array is available there. And let's just run it. I'll show you how that looks like. And that's exactly what we wanted. So now, since this is an array, we can now put it through our iterator. So we click on this, and you know it actually becomes an array when you got the little, like, you got the little arrow, and you got the square brackets on the end of the variable. Click on that, press OK. Click run once just to show how it looks like. And then our bundles, so bundle 1 is like the first free slot, this bundle 2 is second free slot, and so on. And then here we come to my favorite module in all of make.com, and that's text aggregator. And I'm going to click on source module, will be iterator 7. And now we'll grab the time. And I'll just show you how that looks like so you sort of get a rough idea of what's happening. So at the moment, what it's doing is, if you click on show settings, and I might do new row so you can see a bit better. So it'll give all the available times in this format. Now I don't want them to come back in this format to Vapi. Vapi, that just means it gets more info that it doesn't need. So I like it to be formatted a little bit better. So what you could say is, you can, once you click show advanced settings in the row separator, go other, type in comma, space, and then what you could do is you could format this, format date, which is another function. And you can type in year, so y. And then that will just give you the year for that time. So I'll just show you. So now we just get the years followed like comma, space, comma, space. But we only want the hours, right? So you could do small h, but that will give you 12-hour time, and then you need the AM or PM. So we would need to look something like this with a capital A. That will give you AM or PM. I'll just show you. So now all the times look like this, which is pretty cool. I actually prefer seeing it like that. So completely up to you how you want it. So capital H will give you the 24-hour format hours. So 9, 9:30, 10, 10:30, and Vapi's more than smart enough to figure out that these are in like morning to evening 24-hour format, especially if you put in the prompt. Great. And then we'll just go set multiple variables, click on add item, click here, and then say, what could we name this? I'm just going to reuse available slots. And then go text, press OK. So now when we run it again, our variable is now assigned to available slots. But what will Vapi sometimes do is it will read out the whole webhook regardless of what you prompt it. Because the prompt, you'd have to very, what's the word? Essentially Vapi, your Vapi agent will read whatever you put in your webhook, pretty much word for word, unless you do some extremely heavy prompting. Now, because today we don't want to do extremely heavy prompting, and we want it to be pretty accurate and do the thing that we want it to do every single time. What I might do is, I'm thinking of just maybe giving like 3 or 4 times back. And I think 3 is a good amount. So if you give someone back, if you say, okay, we got 9, 9:30, 10, and 10:30 available, that person's already forgotten like the first 2 or 3 times you already given them. So like 3 is probably a good number. You're like, hey, we got 9, we got 11 and 12 available. Which one would you like? So that's what I'm thinking of doing here. What I might do then is go into this part here where we get it, and then there's a function called shuffle. Shuffle all the times. Let me show you how that looks like now. We'll run that. We now get them all in kind of all randomized order. Great. And then what we'll do is use a slice function. And what that does is it, for 0 is the first, like the beginning number or the beginning time in our case, because it starts from 0. And then we want to cut it off at, I think 3. That will give it 3 or 4. We'll check. Now we only should get 3 times back. Yeah. But Vapi again will read this as, hey, we've got 1 p.m. we've got 11 and 11:30 available. And it's kind of backwards, and that also might throw someone off. So it's good to have them in order. So there's another function called sort. And if you read it here, sort orders them in ascending. If you type in ASC, so I'm just going to go again, semicolon, type in ASC, bracket, press OK. And now that should order them from the lowest to highest. And it didn't. Damn. Wonder why. So you go, we get the times, we shuffle them around, we cut off some of them, and the ones that are left over, we then sort them. Go array, order, key. Oh, let's try the key. What's the key in here? Time. Okay. So sort time. Let's try that. Okay, that might have just been luck. Let's try it again. There you go, that works. Yeah, so we had to go in and do the time, the key for each available slot. Cool, that's pretty much like the basis, the more advanced basis of our booking integration. And then what we'll do then essentially is put a little webhook there, and then give that back into Vapi, just not right now. Now, cool thing would be if, so let's say now that the time that I chose, so let's say tomorrow. So let's say now that tomorrow, my whole day is busy. Let's go into my calendar and then add an event, say all day, busy, save. Okay. So it'll should now come back with something. We'll come back with empty. So if my whole day is busy, there are no slots available, or the whole thing will come back with empty. And the reason is in our HTTP request, we get nothing back. So if the whole day is busy, we need to do something extra. So a cool thing we could do is maybe look into the next day and see if that day is available. Then there's a few ways to do it. You could literally just copy this. You could just copy that again and just have this as like a router. So if this result is empty, then we add a day to our starting requested date, and then we go again. I mean, you could just repeat that infinite amount of times, right? But our make.com scenario then gets big. I'm not sure if that's the best way to do it, but it will work. To be honest, I never know what's the best way to do things in these cases. There are so many possibilities that you could build stuff out with. All right. What I'm thinking of doing is let's give you a little bit of my thought process here. So what I'm thinking is I might actually make this start requested time from the user. I should pretend that's the time that the user actually wanted to book into. So let's say 10 a.m. tomorrow. Or let's just say they said tomorrow, and then Vapi sent this over with a random time, sometime in the morning, because I said I want to book in the morning, so it's at 10. You press OK. So when this gets sent, this information will get sent to this module. If that then is busy, because at the moment it is, it should then look for the next day's availability, right? So how can we do this? I'll add in a router. I'm going to do a few things. And then in here, because that came up empty, right? There is a function in make.com called if_empty. So if this is empty, and we want to output busy, because then if that's empty, that means our whole calendar for that day is busy. Otherwise, just give back whatever this is. And that should work. So this time when we run it, it should output busy. Great. So now if this is busy, what we wanted to do is we want to grab that variable, get multiple variables. We're going to go, what was it called? Variable slots. I'm going to copy that and paste it into here. And now this then variable should come out as busy. Cool. Thinking we'll need a router here. But basically what I'm thinking is it will then loop through here, go variable slots. If this variable is equal to busy or not equal to busy, it'll keep going. Hold up. That's not going to work. If this variable is busy, so I'm going to the second filter, and how I did that is I just left click between the two modules. So not on the spanner, so not on this, but on this, much quicker. You don't have to click twice then. Then what I wanted to do is I want to set another variable, and then I might call this one then start day, because I'm thinking of putting it into here, start time. Okay, let's call it start time. Start time, and then we want to add one day onto that. To what though? I'll add another module here and then go get multiple variables. Go to start time. Add another variable here. Because this is like, I'm pretending this is the time it's coming back from Vapi. And we need to check what availabilities are given on that day. So usually, like our assistants have done 2,000 plus calls already for inbound. Usually people go, I want the booking right now, or like this morning, or this afternoon, or tomorrow afternoon. It's usually those, like 99% of the time. It's very rare that someone will say, oh, can I book like 2 weeks in advance? That's extremely rare. So if we go this then we need to format the day and get the day for this. Okay, so then variable name, we'll need to change this up a little bit later, but yeah. So we'll go into start time. I think that's all we actually will need. Go request a time, and we can then format this, format date to only grab the day. So the year, the month, the day, and then that will only give us the, I'm just going to unlink this so I don't run the whole scenario, just these three. That only gives us that. And that only gives us that. But for the start time, we want it to be at 7 in the morning. So can I just do this? Will that work? So instead of the semicolon here, I'm just going to go T. And that should work. So 077, that's fine. Great. All right, and then we'll grab this variable and we're going to put it into here. And this one here. And then for the end time, instead of making another second variable, what I could do is just go start time and then add hours. And then onto the add hours, how many hours from 9? 8? Oh, I'm just gonna run it instead. I think I'm gonna use my brain power on this a bit more anyway. So that stopped at, it's empty, right? So let's change the date onto the 18th, where I'm not actually busy. Let's run that. And that ran until 2:30, so I need to do 2 more hours or 3. Let's go 11 hours. And that should now give my last available time. Cool, perfect. All right. So far you're sort of been hopefully following me along and just building this out as it kind of grows. What I'm thinking of using is this new tool that I've picked up the other day. It's called a repeater. So if you type in repeater into here, it looks like this. Show advanced settings. I'm just going to go maximum of 1 repeats just for now, so it doesn't like waste too many runs each time. I might actually unlink it just to show the basic idea of this setup. So yeah, try not to build it out just right now. If you could just watch, that'd be better. So the repeater. Let's just put some stuff into this. Let's put another, just whatever into it. So repeater, we do that. We put that on 2, and it will run these 2 modules twice. So run once and then go again. Okay. There's one way to stop it from working, and is to intentionally throw an error. So if we go past JSON module, and just put whatever in here that's not a JSON string, it's just whatever. It could be just be a number 12. This will then throw an error, and the whole scenario will stop working, and then you'll come up with this. And it's not too great in your scenarios to have these come up, because then sometimes your client will have like emails come in when a scenario breaks. So you add an error handler, and if you choose the commit one, what will actually happen is the red error won't come up anymore. It'll just cost you 1 extra operation, but that won't happen. And then what that does is it stops the repeater from working. Now have a think on how we could use this idea with what we created here. So what we wanted to create here was a setup where it will keep on getting the next day until it finds a day that's not busy and then stops. This helps us stop. Okay, so let's try and integrate this into our scenario now. I'm just going to set it on 1 for now. So that's available slots is busy. This will be available slots is not equal to busy. And then we'll probably have another router here. But just thinking what will happen. Okay, so save. Add days. I think I have to run the whole scenario for the variable here to come up. Let's just unlink this so we can run it. Okay, cool. Let's link that up. And that should come up. What can I choose? So I can't choose the one on the basic trigger because it's before the repeater. What up? Why is it working? Should be able just to click on it. There we go. So I had to change it to 2 so that it'll run it again to get it again so that I can get it the second time and then map it. Okay, there we go. So now we go format. So now we go add days. And we're going to add 1 day. And press 1. Start time. I wonder if that'll work actually. Because I'll grab the requested time again. Let's see what happens. So there should be 2 outputs. And then the second output. So these were 4. This was for the 18th. And then this was for the 17th. Pretty sure. Those were both 18th, damn it. Because none of it was busy. Right. And we didn't throw an error. Okay. So let's throw that error intentionally then. Let's throw that into here, JSON, plus JSON. And then commit. Right click, add error handler, commit. Okay, I'm just going to pause for a sec. I need to think about this one a little bit more. Yeah. I'm not sure if this is like the best solution ever, but it will work, I think, in my head. Let's try it in theory. So, not in theory, let's actually see if we can apply it. So I might get rid of this variable here. So I haven't clicked on anything or changed anything since I paused. I might just change this to next day and then just Control X this so I don't like destroy it. Just do that. It's going to say yes. So we're going to introduce a new variable called next day. I'm going to right click and add a module here. And I'm going to call it get multiple variables. And I'm going to type in next day. So it's going to check whether, so that variable should be here. It should then receive that variable. Check if that exists. If that exists, then we'll have a router, which will have another set multiple variable with start day, and paste that in. But we want to use next, let's kill my brain. I still want to update this every time, don't we? We also have one here. Oh, that's good. Maybe we can use that. So then we'll go add days and the start time, whatever they chose. And then we'll actually use then this, which looks like it'll give number 1 if it runs the first time. So if it runs 1 the first time, we don't want it to add. So the second time it'll be 2. We don't want to add 2 days. So this has to be take 1. So take 1. It's okay. Okay, then start day, and then let's reorder this. So apply. So now this route will go first. And then we want to only go that way if that exists. So if that exists, it'll go first this way. And if it doesn't, then it will ignore it and just keep on going its merry way. In theory. All right, let's test it. So I've changed the date to the 17th. As you guys remember, my calendar was booked out for the whole day on that day. So then it should then repeat twice and then go through the first time, and then the second time should stop. So that seems to work. I just don't think it worked on the second time because of formatting here. It's the 18th of September, 7 a.m. which was the start time. So the first time I went through, the second time I went through. That should have gone on the second time around, that should have gone on the 18th. That's the 18th here. Start day. Oh man. Start time. This is start time. Okay, let's run that again. There you go, got the 18th, but I don't think it actually worked here because it needed to have been... Oh, it still worked. Great. Cool, so it doesn't need to be in that format for cal.com. Nice. That's fine. And then, there you go, it did it. Oof. Yeah. Okay, so then here, what we would do later on, we would set up our webhook response back to Vapi. And here we would say, these are the available slots. That would be the last run that it did, which would be the second one. And that will then run into here. Let's order the routes, and click on that. So this will run first. This will be the webhook. Press OK. Okay, we have a working looping system thing. Cool. I'm gonna save before I auto align. I usually don't like how it auto aligns. Yeah, it's probably worse than it was. Let's see if we can make this a little bit more prettier now. Line it up with this. You guys are probably laughing at me. Why is he spending so much time trying to make it look pretty? I like it. Okay, it's not. It's good enough. I'll live with this. Okay, great. So this is now our check-in availability setup done. Now the booking setup will be, I think, easier. There's not as many modules, so I'm gonna click save. And let's go into here and copy. So I'm gonna right-click clone, because we're gonna use this as our base for the booking. So let's also clone this. Go and copy module, paste. And I'm gonna move this thing here off of it. So left-click drag. And it seems like my screen's getting a bit... It's 3.4 gigs worth of memory stuff, so I'm just gonna close that and reopen it. Thinking my computer's running a bit slow. Maybe that's a bit better. All right, so then in here, same setup, except now we then need to look into the documentation for bookings. Find a booking, create a new booking. There you go. Post new booking. So we need this endpoint, bookings. I'm gonna change that to bookings, and I'm pretty sure it'll be post. Let's just double check. Post, yep. Still need the API key. Great. When we don't need anything else in the queries, let's delete all this then. We need the event type ID, so I'm just gonna copy that to have it there, and then press OK. What I might do is I might just read through the documentation a bit first, so I don't spend like 20 minutes just going through a bit of JSON objects, just to not, because this will be a bit more technical. So if you just want to grab the JSON object, just copy it. I think that's what I'll get to in the next few minutes. Okay, so I more or less figured it out in my JSON editor. So if we go raw content type, just application/JSON. So this, and then put that in. So this is the thing that I figured out. I was just playing around with it a little bit. And so you can now put in the can grab the name of the user. I've just been playing around with it a little bit, and we type in our email for our calendar, it will send an email to our mailbox, and it will also because it still requires the email to work, so we still need to put that in there. And for that, in our case, we're just going to put our email in just so the person during the call doesn't have to give theirs. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, it's a complete pain in the ass to grab an email for someone during a phone call. You just kind of want to throw your phone against the wall sometimes with the AI, making too many mistakes with spelling, etc. And like just put in a random number here. So like, I don't know, 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4. Let's put in a random number here, and then the location, which is the most interesting one. They've actually got updated the documentation for it. It took me so long to figure it out last time. We scroll up, there's actually this whole list of the possible locations where you can meet. So the ones I would actually want is the Google Meet. So what I did is I copied this, copied that. In the value between the two quotation marks, I pasted that in. And then that's it. So if you guys, for example, wanted to put in Zoom, you would just grab the word Zoom, copy it, and then after the word integrations with this, you would go like that. Oops, like this. Just go to redo my Google Meet though. That's where I wanted to go. And just make sure you don't have the double quotation marks like I did there. I think that's right. Your time zone will be your time zone. And what I also figured out is that the +2 on the end of this lets you ignore, because usually what they wanted is in this kind of format. It's like with the Zulu time. But if you do it this way, it will ignore the whole bullshit with like times and all that. So I prefer just to have this, and then let's press OK. And I'll put this in the description below, by the way. And then the title is booking with X and Y. Status is accepted. I couldn't figure out what to do with this with the description. I couldn't get it to pop up in my calendar at all. So I'm going to try it for booking for 11 on the 18th, which is the Wednesday. And then press OK. And let's press play. No available users found. I think it must be this different wrong event type ID. Remember we copied that before? It must be that. Press OK, save. Let's run that again. Message custom and responses, phone error field. I think you actually need a appropriate number of digits there to make it work. Let's see. Does it have to be an actual proper number? That's cool that I actually look for it. See if that works. Phone. Maybe capital. Ah, there we go. So that had to be capital because I think we had it as Advanced. How does a capital here? Crazy. All right, so let's check if that actually went in at, so we actually wanted to go in at 10. No, my bad. We wanted to go at 11 on the 18th. Let's check my calendar then. Amazing, cool. This title thing didn't work though, did it? I thought that would then auto populate from this here. Let's go back into here. Definitely didn't like it, did it? Thought that would have worked. You know, I'm just gonna leave it. Just gonna leave it as this, and you guys can play around with it a little bit more later. This is going to be a pretty long video anyway, so I'm gonna click save. And then let's see if that fixes up the title bit. Now I'm just going to show you an error that comes up a lot, and quite a lot of you asked me last time. Now, please don't book in a call with me and just to come up with this error, I'll throw a banana at you. So if we're going to try and book in at the same time, we're going to get an error. And the error will be no available users found error. This just means that this slot is booked. So that slot, that 11 a.m. slot is just booked. It should say no available, like it's busy or something, but it doesn't. So cal.com still hasn't figured out the stuff yet with this. But essentially, yeah, that just means that it's busy. So now if we try to book at 12, we won't get this error, and hopefully the title actually comes up nicer as well in our calendar. That took a long time. Okay, so now, where are we? Google Calendar. There we go. Discovery call between Henrik, YouTube, and John. And we get the phone number. We also get the meeting link, which is really cool because now what we could do is hook up our Twilio with it. So we could send them a SMS with this. So I might actually pause the video and just hook up all my Twilio stuff. So I'm going to use this. If I type in Twilio into here, create a message. I already have a Twilio connection, and I'm not going to click on this because it'll actually pop up with all my phone numbers. But essentially what we could do is click on 2, which will grab from our like Vapi system, and the message body will use a template. Create a body, and then we'll say here, hey, here is your Google Meet link. And then we'll grab it. I think it was in references. Meeting, there was a meeting URL. There we go. For the given time of, and then obviously you could format this to make it extremely pretty. At the moment, I'm just going quick and dirty. For the given time of, and then whatever the requested time is, right? And then press OK. Can I map it? I'm just going to pause the video, add my credentials and stuff in, and then so you guys can see my number, okay? Cool, so I'm back. I clicked on everything, and to set up your Twilio node, what you need to do is you go Twilio, create a message, you click on add, and you grab your SID and your auth token from Twilio. Now, I won't be going over that in this video, but it's quite easy to follow. And if you have any issues with that setup, I would recommend watching my Twilio setup guide. I also got a video, and that's about 10 minutes long, and it takes you through the whole process of how to import videos into Vapi, phone numbers into Vapi, and all that. So I think you can do that all good or fine with that video. Okay, so we've got our checking availability, we've got our booking node. So for now, I think we can actually start setting up Vapi. And then after we set up our Vapi agent, we'll also do our end of call reports, and we'll clean all this up so that it looks professional. And we'll actually work with that agent as well, and we'll do some prompt engineering. Okay, so then we'll go here. I have two functions, one for this, one for this. Let's go into Vapi dashboard, assistants, create assistant, blank, create assistant. I'm just going to show you the settings that we do. So I'll do 4.0, temperature like between 4 and 5. Max token set to 100. It just takes the streaming latency to OpenAI. It makes it much quicker. Publish, transcriber. I'll keep it on Deepgram, Nova, and EN. Cartesia is not too great. Let's go see if we can find Joanne, I really like her. There we go, Joanne. I'm just going to copy the ID, go back to my assistant, go voice, add voice manually, click it. There you go, done. V2 is the best. V2.5 we use it if you want to use Spanish and English together. So that's that. I actually don't like the background noise. I find a lot more people hang up, especially if you're cold calling and that comes up. I like to have these settings like this. It just makes it sound a bit more natural. Functions, we don't have any set up yet, but we will set them up in a little bit. Max duration, let's just lower it to like, I don't know, like roughly 5 minutes. Come into here, let's click off all these, we don't need them. I'll leave the transcript on just for the sake of it. And then the only thing we need is the end of call report to come through at the end. In the server URL, what we'll do is we're actually going to add in our first webhook. So go add module, webhooks, custom webhook. And let's call this Vapi YouTube. Let's save, press OK. And we can, now we're going to delete this and it will throw the whole thing off here, but we just have to fix it later. So that's that. And I think then we need to add a router. Add in a router. And then we'll have this set up here. We can delete this as well. And chuck that back onto our webhook. Just cleaning up a little bit quicker. Okay. All right. I think that's okay for now. What else will we need? We'll definitely would need a bunch of other things later on, but for now, let's just keep it as is. So we'll replace this with the requested time from our from Vapi. Let's go into here. And I can't actually show you like a dynamic assistant because I don't have any phone numbers hooked up to my account here. But I would then recommend watching my AI coach video on that. So I still think we are doing quite well just by figuring out that part right here. All right, so then what we need to then do is do some prompt engineering, I think. And hello. Welcome to life insurance. Welcome to Bob's Life Insurance. Cool. So we're going to have a role. We'll have specifics. We could have a task as well, but specifics. We'll have context, and then we'll have some notes. These are like the pillars of prompt engineering. Without these, it'll be pretty hard to make a good prompt. Okay, so in the role, we'll say you are Bob. You're an expert at booking in the caller and helping them with any type of questions. Aimed at our business. So the business will be, so you work at Bob's Life Insurance. You are qualifying. And booking leads who have just filled out a lead form. We have been in the business since 1970, and what else? And our prices are extremely competitive. We work from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You could also add in on weekends. We only work on work days or something like that here if you want, and you are in a voice conversation. There's a difference. The AI will speak differently if it thinks it's in a text conversation and a voice conversation. It's got two completely different things. All right. And then we've got task. What about task? So first one will be to qualify the lead. So ask their name. Ask if they want life insurance. And then book appointment. We're going to have two functions. I'll call one, I think, check calendar, and the next one will be book calendar. So book appointment, and then booking appointment will be, so one, I think maybe I'll have like a general statement first. So work with the caller to book an appointment into Bob's calendar. So in general, we'll have some like basic steps for it. Use the check calendar function to look for availabilities first. You could say like wait for API response here. Doesn't really matter too much. I'll just leave it there. Wait for API response. Once you get some responses, then use the so maybe actually before that, ask what time they would like to book. Maybe tomorrow, today, in the morning, etc. And I might just put that in brackets so that it doesn't always say it as well. So if the person goes, I don't know, then AI will actually give them some ideas. And then use the book calendar function to book to our calendar. Oh, maybe to finalize booking. There you go. If booking is successful, say, thanks for booking with us. You should now get an SMS with the details and a booking link. Okay, in the specifics, what we'll do is we'll say always get the availabilities first. Stuff spelling this word every single time. Before booking. Use the current time as a reference for checking slots. And then we'll have the current time. And what you could do potentially, without going into it too much, is we could go into the documentation, and I'll show you something. So if you go variables, oh, what is awesome. So this isn't UTC. However, it's pretty much, it's good enough to put in the prompt as is. So if you just go double curly bracket now, double curly bracket close, it'll give you the time in UTC. So maybe I haven't actually tried this out before, but let's see how it works. So if you go now, and then that formats it in what kind of format? I closed it there. Let's have a look again. And we could just say then current time, and then note, add 2 hours always. The current time as the above is in UTC. And we want GMT plus 2. No idea. Let's see how that works. Then here, always steer the conversation back on track using the task and role as your guidelines. All right, quick and dirty prompt. Now the only things we're missing is the tools. So to do that, on the left-hand side, you've got tools, a create new tool, custom tool, and then what we'll do is come back into Vapi, make.com, copy address to clipboard. I'm getting a little bit tired, so if I start mispronouncing words and stuff and whatever else, I'm just, Click on save. Next. Okay, so this will be our checking availability. So we just want the requested time here. So the requested time, requested, the requested time that we are going to use for. What if we just say the requested time of the user? Could be good enough. And then we'll do in this format. We'll go 2024 08 13T. And click save. Click next. This will be check calendar. Use this function. Check the availabilities in our calendar. Click create. Let's go new tool. Paste the same thing in from before. Click on save. Go next. We'll go requested time again. The requested booking time. In this format, and I'll use the same thing again. Click save. We'll grab the name. Actually, I didn't know you can do required. Oh, that's cool. That's different. I didn't know that was there. I'll grab the name. The name of the caller. Do we actually need anything else? We need the name. You could have the reason, for example, in there. So reason for the call. And then click save. But we do need the name and the requested time for this. Oh, this is cool. I didn't know that was there. That's awesome. And then we'll have this book calendar. Use this function to book an appointment into our calendar. Click create. We'll go assistant. We'll go back into our assistant, click on functions. And in this section, we've got a bunch of stuff going on. We want to enable end call function. We also want to enable these two. So these are the two tools we just made. The end call phrases, I do not turn this on because the assistant sometimes just randomly says the end call phrase and it just ends it abruptly. So I usually have the end call message and I'll just say, thank you for calling. Thank you for chatting with us. Goodbye. Just publish. And then that might be it. So once they're booked in, close and call. Once the lead has been booked in, or I want to hang up once I finish the call. Use the end call function or tool. Okay. That should be it. I'm curious of whether this will work at all. I've never actually tried that before. I'll press OK. And I wonder if, I think I have to use my headphones to speak. Let's bring that in. Headset speakers, yeah. Okay, let's talk to it.
Hello, welcome to Bob's Life Insurance.
Jeez. Hey, how are you?
Hi. Hi, Jason. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. How about you? Are you interested in life insurance today?
I am, yeah.
Great to hear, Jason. Let's get you booked for an appointment. What time would you like to schedule your appointment? We are available from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Cool. Can I book an appointment for tomorrow?
Sure thing, Jason. Do you have a specific time in mind for tomorrow? We have slots available from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
No, it doesn't matter when.
Give me a moment.
Cool.
Just a sec.
So a weird thing that Vapi does is that if you say something at the start that isn't like, hey, how are you back? Or like, hey, specifically, it will for some reason grab the whatever you said initially and transform it into like a name, which is what you heard in this case, which is very frustrating. So I'm not sure why I did that, but sometimes it does. So the reason why I ran that test is because I want to see the tool call happening. And that's why I ran it. So notice I clicked run once just before she made the tool call. So I also won't call her Bob because this is Bob and she had a, oh, you never know these days, do you? Let's call her Bobina then. That would be a girl Bob. And then run that. And if you notice, so basically I call this thing a bubble. So it sort of looks like a speech bubble. So if you click on this, go messages, tool calls, click on one, go check calendar, request a time, and there it is. So I did say for tomorrow, whenever. So today's 16th, and it's actually worked out. That's good. We'll then grab this response and we'll put it into here. Go request a time, go tool calls, function, arguments, click on request a time. Done. Then we need to set up the rest of the scenarios so that it'll work. We'll then go into click on this filter in between the repeater and the router. Click on this, go type. Or actually, hold up. What I might do is have another router before it at some point anyway. So we're gonna need that. Okay. So we'll have this be the type, and we'll have tool calls in here. So whatever it says right there, press OK. And then once it goes from here, we'll need tool calls, function name, and this is check calendar. And we control A this, so just copy it, press OK, copy it into here, type in book calendar. So this will be for our second function. Press OK. I notice I'm going a bit faster on this, but I am just getting pretty tired. I'm trying to do this in one session, so you might just have to like slow this down or rewatch it again. And then what I might do instead of like talking to the assistant each time, I'll show you guys a trick. As I told you, we'll need Postman for this. So what we'll do is we'll click on the webhook, copy address to clipboard, go to Postman. So you just make an account. Where can I go? Workspaces, create workspace, blank workspace, next, whatever. Then click on the little plus up here, click plus, click on post, paste that in, go to the body, click raw, go back into make.com, and then click on the bubble, so this thing here, click on the right hand side here where it says data size 9.8 kilobytes, download Apple bundles, Control A, copy all this, go back into Postman and paste all that in. Now we can run this without actually having to do the call each time, which saves us a lot of time and money actually. If you're doing a lot of try and error stuff at least. Okay, so now what should happen is it should run only this way, and we should actually see the result in Postman. So I'm going to click on run once. Again, it's behind my face. I need to fix this. Hold up. I'm going to add a module, set multiple variables. Just for now, I'm going to add something and then unlink this for now, so it doesn't throw an error. So I'm focusing on the check availabilities part at the moment. Go send. We've got accepted. We've got nothing back. So the reason is, what it did the first time is it ran through, is we sent this through, which is the 17th. Remember, the 17th is still booked out for me. And then what it then did is it ran the second time, so repeated it. And then ran the second time, and then on the second go, so on the 18th, it then gave us the result. So what we need to do is, remember, this was going to be our webhook response. We now need to replace that with the thing that we want. So go webhook, cut webhook response. And this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Essentially, we need to generate a special way of this response in here. So give me a second. I'm just going to pause the video. I'm just going to grab it from my other video. Okay, so I found it from my other videos, just my tools 2.0 video. Everything's in there if you do want to know how to set this up properly. I'm going to right click on this and it's going to add a note to show you what I mean. So this is a JSON object, and within this we need a few things. So the result has to be something something something. So you're like, in this case, our availabilities with the quotation marks. And then this, and then the toolkit ID we get from our webhook response. So I'm just going to leave it empty all for now. I'm going to copy all that, and I think that might be an easier way to do it. So if we go add module, create JSON, maybe. Yeah, that'll work. So go create JSON module, click add, click on generate, put in the sample data, click on generate, and then click on save. And click OK. And this saves all of you the pain of working with the whole JSON stuff. So you will need to replicate this, because this data structure will not save, even if you were to copy this template. If I were to give a template, which I usually don't, you will not see this come up anyway. So you need to do exactly the steps that I did just then. So we go here, so we go in the, so you go in the description, copy this, add a module, JSON, create JSON, add, generate, copy, generate, and then go from there. Okay. All right, now what we need to do is we need to map the toolkit ID, which we get from our webhook response. So you click on ID here, and the result is this. Actually, we could grab it from probably here. We could grab it from here. So now we can probably delete this, so we have one less module to deal with. And then we map into the webhook response, and we just map the whole JSON string in there and just leave it as so. And let's just see whether we actually get something back. Just curious. Save anyway. Run anyway, so I'm just clicking on run behind my face again and click on send. Now we should have gotten something back. There we go. Results. So we got 9. Except it's actually the other way around. Hopefully that won't hopefully Vapi won't mind that. Alright, so let's come in here and also go, these are available slots for the day of, and we need to also get the day for I also need to get this time. So whatever whatever this was. Okay, so then we need to then come in here, the day of, to the map that, and I'm going to format it. Format date into year, month, day. I might actually have it the other round, so I might put the available. So these are the available slots for. These are the available slots. I might just give them like this. And then for the day of that. And that will format it into the day. So that Vapi knows what day it actually gave back. Okay. Because it might have not been the first day. It might have been the second or third day. So let's run that again and see if that works. So these are the available slots for the day of 18th. Amazing. Okay, cool. Now I'm actually going to run that in my agent now. So I'm going to call her again just to double check that actually works. Okay.
Hello, welcome to Bob's Life Insurance.
Why is it doing that? Yeah, hey, how are
No
you?
problem at all. I'm doing great, thank you. How can I assist you today? May I have your name, please?
Yeah, my name's James.
Nice to meet you, James. Are you interested in life insurance?
I am, yeah.
Great, let's get you booked for an appointment to discuss your life insurance options. What time would you prefer for the appointment? We have slots available today and tomorrow.
Yeah, can we try, can you try looking for availabilities for tomorrow, please?
Sure, James. Do you have a preferred time for tomorrow? Morning or afternoon?
No, it doesn't matter.
Give me a moment. James, we have the following available slots for tomorrow. 11:30 a.m., 2:30 p.m., 4:30 p.m. Which one works best for you?
So she didn't realize that like tomorrow's the 17th, but then we actually gave her this and that didn't do anything. She picked up on the slots, that's good. We should do work on the whole, getting that back. Have to do another router. Might have to be. Okay. So we could as well, let's stop it. If that's busy, if that's not busy, then we could just have the webhook here. Yeah, okay, let's just do that. Might copy all this then. Because it might run, this is the first time it will run through. It might be busy. I just want to try and add to the existing system. So if it's not busy, it'll go here. It'll just do all this. Yeah, we might need to add module, add a router. Let's move this away. How do we know it's... I'm just going to pause this. So what I'm thinking is the only time it actually goes through to the next day is if it ends up busy, right? So if this is like the module that controls that situation, then what we could do is go maybe we already have the next day there, so that would work. So if that variable then exists, then we could just go, where can we grab that from? Where can we grab the variable from? Get multiple variables. So from that, I can't map it. There it is, next day. So if that exists, then let's go this way, but let's change it up slightly. I'm just going to copy that first. And then attach it here, and we'll change that filter in a sec. So the slots requested for the day. So the day requested day was busy. We instead can book you in on the that. Here are the slots available for that day. Okay, and then on this one we'll change it to these are available slots for, and then that's fine then, because that will then just go through all that data they picked. And then we have to then change this to does not exist, because that means the first time to look through it just worked. Because the first time it worked through, it'll go through here first, and that'll stop it from running right here. So I need to do this before it runs this webhook. Oh man. So at each point here, I needed to break the repeater. Whoops. My brain's out of brain juice, so I'm just gonna do the lowest thinking possible thing that I can do right now. And I'm just gonna attach this here. And then that will run the webhook first, and then it'll run the second, and it'll break that, and then we'll repeat the same thing for here as well. And then we'll just copy that, paste. we'll run the webhook first, so Vapi gets the response, and then that means then that we can then get rid of this then. Hopefully it doesn't, let's copy this just in case it gets rid of that filter. Delete, and I do get rid of the filter, is equal to busy. I think this is not equal to busy. But then will that pause if it's, yeah, that makes sense. I hope. I'm not feeling so confident anymore because I've spent a few hours going over this now. All right, straight. Need to go for a run or a break soon, I think. So I usually work like, so if I'm here at the moment, it's 5 p.m. Usually I do my heavy like brainy stuff between like 8 and 12. So I've already done a bucket load of this stuff today, and I was specifically working with time zones, and time zones completely just melt my brain. And yeah, then I took a little break, had some lunch, and then I jumped straight into this. So bit more than usual. So like the rest of my day would usually be doing some calisthenics, some yoga, doing some meetings, just some networking, and meeting up with my mates maybe. And then we do play some video games sometimes with them. Thinking about buying a PS5 though, because spending too much time at this computer is, yeah, I'm feeling it. Okay, oh god, let's hope it works this time. Let's run that. Send. Oof, that formatting is horrible. I seem to change that. What do we change this? The format date. Here are the available sets for that day. Let's save, run once anyway. See if that looks a lot better or not. Okay, great. And then I'm gonna go back to my Vapi prompt, just make it, because she already tried to like give me times for tomorrow, and she said those are available. So I'm gonna say never assume a day or slot is available. Always check using the function call. Let's see if that helps it. And we could also add it in the notes. So like never, like negative things I usually put in the notes, but let's just see if that fixes it. And I really don't like this like exclamation mark. Maybe that's what was causing it. Hello there. And adding in little dots sometimes makes it speak slower. Okay, let's see if that works.
Hello there. Welcome to Bob's Life Insurance.
Yeah, hey, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. How can I assist you today? May I have your name, please?
Yeah, my name's James, and I do want life insurance, and I'd like you to look through some slots for me tomorrow.
Great to hear, James. Let's find a suitable time for you tomorrow. Do you have a preferred time of day, like morning or afternoon?
It doesn't matter.
Hold on a sec. James, it looks like tomorrow is fully booked. However, we have availability on September 18th with the following time slots: 15:30, 16, and 16:30. Do any of these times work for you?
Yeah, they do. Can we do 16:30?
Give me a moment. Thanks for booking with us.
Okay, perfect. We are getting there, ladies and gents. We are getting there. So she said the times back real weird. So what does it actually get back? So we could potentially prompt that. Let's see if that fixes it. So we could be like, always say the times back in AM or PM. So for example, instead of, let's say 1 PM or not sure if that will break it because I'm saying 24-hour format and then that. I don't know. Whatever, we'll see. Okay, so it actually, the reason why I told it to book is I wanted to show you guys that it would be able to run this route, and it did. So that's what we're going to fix next. So we're going to come into here, and then click on into the start time, and it's actually good practice to not change stuff up in the JSON because you might come in later and accidentally stuff things up. So what I like to do is, this is why I actually had it here, is have it as booking time. And as well, if you want to change anything later on, it's a bit easier in the scenario than change it if you have it at the start. So go function, arguments, requested time, and then we'll have the name of the caller. We'll also grab the name, reason, life insurance. Yep, that's true. And then we'll click OK. So then what we'll do is we'll keep the +2. We'll just get rid of all this. We'll then click into booking time. The name, replace it between the quotation marks. The reason, I'm not sure where you wanted it booking with. Yeah, for some reason I can't get the title to come up in cal.com. If you guys figure it out, I would love it for you to reach out to me in LinkedIn and tell me how you did it. I couldn't work it out, so maybe one of you would be an absolute angel and try and figure that one out. So it doesn't seem like the title actually does anything. But I might put it then in a name. Hopefully that would work. Let's see if that works. And then the reason in there. So the reason might be a whole sentence. So that would be in the description. Better than nothing. I'm just going to leave it. Then press OK. And this Twilio node, I am going to again pause my video and I'm putting in like I'm going to put in the number into the send to bracket. Silly me, can't actually do it because we didn't make a phone call with an actual phone. But what you would basically do is you would do the similar thing we just did here while mapping these. So in this setup, when you make a call to Vapi, it will then come back with call, and there will be a customer field or property in here. You click on it like I do here with monitor, and then it will be number. Then you click OK, you put it into your Twilio node, and then it's done. All right, so that's that. Let's test the whole thing out and see how that works now. Because that should now book properly. Should tell us that tomorrow is busy, and then we'd be able to book into here as well. So let's try that. Let's actually talk to her again.
Hello there. Welcome to Bob's Life Insurance.
Hey, my name's James.
Hi, James. Nice to meet you. Are you looking for life insurance today?
Yes.
Great. Let's get you booked in for an appointment to discuss life insurance further. When would you like to book your appointment? Would you prefer today, tomorrow, or a specific time?
I'm not sure. How about tomorrow?
This'll just take a sec. It looks like we don't have availability at 5 p.m. today. Would you like to choose another time, perhaps tomorrow or later in the week?
Can you try that again, please?
One moment. It appears we still don't have availability at 5 p.m. today. Would you like to try a different time, perhaps tomorrow or later in the week?
No, could we try that for tomorrow, please?
This'll just take a sec. It looks like tomorrow is fully booked, but we have availability on September 18th. Here are the available slots for that day. 9:30 a.m., 11:30 a.m., 2:30 p.m. Which time works best for you?
Oh, she said that so nicely. Yeah, can we do the 2:30 p.m.? That sounds good.
Just a sec. Just a sec. Looks like there was an issue with booking that slot. Let's try again. Just a sec. How about 9:30 a.m. or 11:30 a.m. on the 18th?
I just stopped my video recording instead of pausing the end call. So essentially why that's happening is because we don't have a webhook response here, right? So let's go into the end of our setup here. Let's grab these 3 nodes. Let's paste that in. Delete the router, because that's the thing that we don't need. Click on here, go here. And I might actually add in a router here as well. So router. And this could then be the SMS after that phone call is done. Let's click on this, get rid of that. This would be the message talk. This stays the same, luckily. And then we'll just say your booking was successful for the requested time of, and then whatever the requested time was, so the booking time. And then press OK. And then that will then get sent to here. Got to unlink that so that it still works, the whole scenario works. But yeah, what now? Let's try running that again. And what I might do is actually not have that as an example, because then she ends up telling them like if you'd like to actually book for tomorrow. So let's get rid of that, see if that behaves better. And hopefully you are learning a lot here. So showing like my thought process and everything here is a pretty rare thing. Usually on YouTube, it's like you get bombarded with bloody images all the time, and you don't actually see anyone's progress over time. So hopefully this video is something different or a lot better, especially if you're a builder and you're trying to increase your skills. And if you're seeing me struggling, that's literally 99% of our job as a developer is not knowing what the hell you're doing. And sometimes I end up staring at the ceiling for a few hours every day, just trying to have these like big make.com scenarios running through my head, seeing how I can fix something that I couldn't do before. Anyway, I think I'm going to try again. I'm going to try again with the whole booking thing. I was going to go save anyway, run once, run anyway. So to get rid of all that existing data in the back, let's click on scheduling, and that should, it's annoying. It should have cancelled, should have come up with a menu that deletes them. I'm not a fan that keeps on also coming up with the transformer should not be the last module in the thing. So what I might do is to make it throw an error, I'm going to add in a different module. So I'm going to add in a HTTP module, get a file, and it doesn't really matter what. Really doesn't matter what we put in there, as long as something that will make it throw an error. And we'll delete that, add error handler, commit. I'm going to copy this, just paste it into here. Seems like my browser's also slowing down. I'm going to have to probably restart and go again in a sec. That will also throw an error because it can't get the file off that URL. It's not an actual URL. I'll close that and open it again. And I press Ctrl-Shift-T to open up a tab I just recently closed. Okay. While we're here, so instead of me going back and forth and stuff, I'll just show you guys how I do the end of call report. So what you would do is you'll come into here, go type in end of call report. Press OK. And then we can just go, here's the HTTP module from Vapi. So API documentation, get call. I'll do this. So get call ID, that'll be our response. And I can actually show you what I tried at the start. So make key auth requests, add key, name, Vapi test YouTube. This would be authorization, and then the key we get from our Vapi account. So you go API keys, and I don't care if you guys see this at all because this is my throwaway account anyway. We've got copy, authorization, and that will then be placed in the header. And we copy in the ID of the call, which would be call ID. We go get, and that is it. And then the final puzzle of the whole thing is we go Airtable, go this, create a record. We'll add in a new connection type, Airtable OAuth. We'll go Vapi YouTube transcript. Click on save, just in case it comes up with all my other accounts. Okay, it didn't. Add base. And because I'm already logged onto Airtable, that's the one that it picked out. So I'm going to click on transcript, grant access, and it should now authenticate that. Airtable base, transcripts, table, transcripts. And cool, I'll show you guys what to do with that in a sec. All right, so let's actually do the whole thing from start to finish. So you go run once. Where are we? I've got to close all this shit because I get lost if I have too many tabs. Close this. Probably don't need this anymore. Don't need this anymore. Don't need this anymore. Don't think we need the Jace, the Postman anymore. We need Airtable so I can show you the result. So let's go into our Airtable. And then we just need to do a phone call. Cool, let's try it.
Hello there. Welcome to Bob's Life Insurance.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. How can I assist you today? May I have your name, please?
Yeah, my name's James.
Nice to meet you, James. Are you interested in booking an appointment to discuss life insurance?
I am, yes.
Great. What time would you like to book your appointment, James? We are available from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Yeah. So can we try for tomorrow at any time? I don't mind when.
One moment. James, it looks like tomorrow is fully booked. However, we have availability on September 18th at the following times: 11:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., 2 p.m. Which time works best for you?
Can we do the 11:30, please?
This will just take a sec. Thanks for booking with us, James. You should now get an SMS with the details and a booking link. Is there anything else I can assist you with today?
No, that's it. Thanks for that. See ya.
Thank you chatting with us. Goodbye.
And myself, yes. Okay, that's killer. Killer. Cool. So now we should have, so you guys didn't see it, but there would have been a run to this area here after the call. So how to see that was you go back, click on, oh, maybe we didn't. Damn it. And I think I know the reason. So if you go into our assistant, go advanced. We didn't put in the server URL in our configuration. So in the advanced settings, put in your webhook from our make.com. So this one here into right there, and then click on publish. It's going to do a really quick call, and I'm not going to ask her anything specific, just to show you guys the end of call report and stuff.
Hello there. Welcome to Bob's Life Insurance.
Oh, hey. Yeah, there you go. So now we've got to map all these. And then, so we got lead phone, we can leave that empty. Transcript, let's chuck that into, let's chuck that there. Summary, map that to that. Recording URL. Where is it? Here. ID. Where's call ID? Call ID. Ended reason, really good one to know. Duration, I think they've, oh, it's amazing they've done it. So this is the seconds. Cost, so good that they've done that. That wasn't there before. And if we were to make a phone call using our phone number, we would put that into here. So we go save. And sometimes it might be a good idea to actually add a sleep module so that Vapi has time to update like the call duration and cost and all that. So we have a sleep module here, and I just delay it for like 5 seconds. And then I'll show you guys a bit of postman action. So if we go again back, go into here where we had the error, we can grab the stuff from the bubble again, go download output bundles, send that through. I'm just going to replace our check availabilities thing from before, so it has the same webhook. Go back into our scenario, click on run once just so you guys can see it happening. So it's again behind my face. Click on send, and then we should get that, all that stuff get updated in Airtable or not. Oh, the requested model was not found. Interesting. So what's happening here then? Maybe I have to refresh or something. It's like a different, it's like a different table I have on there, right? Yeah, I don't even have the export on this. What are you doing? Just gonna pause the recording while I try to figure this out. This isn't anything crazy important, I don't think. So I'm just like duplicating my base again. I'm not sure really what's happening. And then it's these two hidden fields. So that's why they're coming up in the other one. Just gonna delete this. Delete this. That's why they were coming up in there. This table is now called transcripts copy. Okay, so if I go into here, I should be able to select transcripts copy from here. And I did that because I allowed every single table. Just gonna put the transcript in. I can't be bothered doing everything. I'm gonna delete that. I'm gonna run this again. See if that comes through. Come on, there you go, that worked. Good. Refresh. Wrong table. This one. Good. Alright, we got it. Alright, so yeah, you would just repeat the same thing for the other ones. And Airtable is amazing because later on you can do things like interfaces, so dashboards. It's easier to sort data. You can have a Kanban, which is a beautiful way to see things. So like you can see the fields a lot better, and then you can like actually drag them. So if you have another one like closed leads, so this is sort of like a pipeline thing. So maybe you can move this guy to here, and now it's closed, that sort of thing. So I love Airtable for that kind of flexibility there. It's all in one package almost, and it's pretty much free. I think like 1,000 records, and it's almost done. So I'm just going to clean this up a little bit, try and make it look a bit more prettier. I like my scenarios to be a bit more artistic. And then yeah, but it's pretty much done, guys. I think hopefully you've learned a shit ton. And the last thing would be to actually import your phone number into Vapi and then hook this up, right? So it'll be like this. And then you shouldn't have the red dot because of the error, because you'd have your number in there properly inputted. Actually, this scenario is way smaller than I thought it would be. It's good. It's a pretty nice and efficient one. So what the good thing about this one is that it will actually grab you like whatever you set to here, it'll keep on looping through the days until it finds a day that's available, which I think is the beauty of this scenario. I'm not sure if it's going to look better or not. There surely is a better way to set this up. I mean, you can play around with it and see what you come up with, and then just shoot me a message on LinkedIn. I'd love to see your work. Maybe you've come up with a better way to do this now that you've hopefully watched it a couple of times and figured out a way or a different way to do it. And I love to see people's thought processes and how they did things and why they did things. That's why I was a teacher for 10 years. The whole metacognition thing. So thinking about thinking, it's my thing, and problem solving. So I'm pretty excited. This is now working for us. This bit isn't even now. It's going to bother me. So I'm just going to try and make that have the same angle at least. And these two should also be almost the same. I might then go like this here, have that be a bit more symmetrical. Except this one's kind of ruining it, isn't it? So you make it be in order. It's a little bit better. It's not probably the best looking piece, but I think it does the job, right? Let's line that up a little bit more. I'm gonna have to move that anyway. No. Anyway, I'm gonna mess around with this. I think we are finished. So if you'd like, leave a like and subscribe. And tell me if you like these types of videos. If you don't, maybe tell me what you'd like to see instead. This was pretty much a 0 to hero build. So even if you had no idea how to hook up any of this stuff up before together and the little intricacies of everything, hopefully you've learned something today, at least one thing. And I would like you to tell me in the comment section, what is the one thing that you learned from this video, and then just write it in there, please. That actually mean the world to me. I've actually got some affiliate links for like VoiceGlow and Make.com and Vapi. If you are a beginner and just signing up, have a think about it and maybe use one of those links. That would also help me out quite a lot. All right, cool. Thank you for watching the video, ladies and gents, and see you around.